And I apologize. We might have a little bit of a shorter session this session because we've been having these weird little electricity blackouts because of this brutal heat. It's like 90, I don't know, I think it's like 98, 99 right now. I don't know how it is where everybody else is, but it is like a brutal yikes. I know it is really, really hot. So we had the electricity go out twice, which was like flickering. So just want to make sure, let people know. So I'm actually going to put the video that was in I'm going to put the video actually the, um, in the announcements page. So you'll have that there. So it's, wow, 104 in Indianapolis, quite hot. So we're going to go through it. We're in week 5. We are coming down a home stretch. We are the next to final week. I appreciate all the great work that's been done by everybody. And again, appreciate all of you coming to the different sessions. And I really enjoy, I got to give kudos to you guys. This has been a terrific idea to do the sessions and basically attend a live session. And that does the Tech Live Reflection. It's the first time I've done it, and appreciate all the idea of that too. So we're going to talk a little bit about entrepreneurial marketing, which is a little bit different. I'm going to explain it. First, a couple things to go through. Let me just share with you where we are and what the assignments are that we're going to be dealing with. So again, we are in week 5, and with week 5, you have a couple of our normal assignments. Again, you have the Tech Live Reflection, which basically put in there. You attended the live lecture, so you'll have no problem there. Again, for the assignments for Module 5 in the discussion, a little bit different this time here. You have a discussion on entrepreneurial marketing. And as I said, we're going to discuss that a little bit today, so you're familiar with it. Basically, in a discussion question, you're going to choose a business. Again, whatever business you want. If you want to go with the one that you've been working with, that's fine. As a basis, provide a discussion about the different items you see before you. Describe entrepreneurial marketing, which I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight. Compare and contrast the entrepreneurial marketing in terms of product, price, place, and promotion. So out of the 4 Ps, you're going to discuss how your particular business that you choose contrasts the marketing and entrepreneurial marketing, the 2 different ways. Okay? So you're basically contrasting the 2 in product, price, place, and promotion. And then you're going to, again, about 5 to 7 sentences on each of those. Again, any outside stuff, references, and APA format for the particular sourcing there. And then when you get into let me pull up here the Module 5, the assignment. And then when you get into the project paper, basically you're going to, again, choosing the business, dealing with entrepreneurial marketing. Oops, sorry here. Basically describe the business. No matter what business you choose the same one, not. Explain and discuss how the business applies or could apply entrepreneurial marketing to the discover and awareness phase. Okay. So when they're looking at starting the product or starting the service or launching the product, how do they come up with the entrepreneurial marketing for it? Let me give you an example. I'll give you 2 examples, actually. Both I was involved specifically when I was in the medical arena before, in my corporate world, before I got into academia and that. I was involved in 2 entrepreneurial marketing launches. One was, and I think I told you this before, I was actually involved in the ophthalmology division of Johnson & Johnson, a very large, as you know, medical company. And we were at the initial stages of LASIK surgery, which some of you might have had it. Some of you might be familiar with it. And one of the problems was that an array of products was used for doctors to do LASIK eye surgery, probably approximately 12 different products from different companies. So what we did is actually work with the different companies to put together a kit to be able to have a one-stop kit that a doctor opens up. All the products are there. Basically, all the companies get their products bought in that type of way. And when you're in a discovery and awareness, it became from the problem of having to order from approximately 6 different companies, we were able to make a kit with those other companies to make it a one-stop shop for the doctor. So you're solving a problem. Secondly, I was in the hematology division before that, and basically with another company, and we were coming up with hematology urinalysis. And we're able to and this might be kind of not probably a fun thing to talk about, but we were able to talk about how with the urinalysis division, we're able to look at how we can do the same thing utilizing this product for animals. So we're able to do animal testing for veterinary areas. So again, same problem as humans, but can we look into another particular target market? So that's what I mean by discovery and awareness. Then how can you look at entrepreneurial marketing? Doing the research, sitting down like I did with the doctors. What do you need? Looking at customers, the purchase process. How do you purchase? Make it easier. One-stop shop, looking at maybe online, looking at delivery through various retailers. And then delivery and after sales. How do you make it easier? One of the greatest things I love, and I don't know if many of you are familiar, use the same thing, but one thing I love about Amazon Prime that is fantastic is if I don't like the product, I can click. 3 clicks gets me to, I can walk over to the UPS store and be able to not worry about a box, not worry about a bag, not worry about anything, just bring it over there and it will be able to be returned. And I will be able, within hours, get my refund back. So looking at ways to look at entrepreneurial marketing. All right. If there's any questions, anybody has any type of comments, questions, please feel free to jump into the chat. I'm going to touch base and go on a little bit here with what is entrepreneurial marketing that we're talking about. 3 things I want you to be familiar with. One is it's a discovery-driven approach. So the marketing is taking a product and looking at how you can promote it, deliver it, sell it, make people persuade them to want to buy the product, whereby the aspect of entrepreneurial marketing is more in the inventive side. This is where we look at experimenting, learning, adapting. So you may not have the solid product ready immediately. You may be in a process of creating it, discovering it, tweaking it, being able to look at how you can make it different and better. Okay. So it's almost, as I consider, to be kind of in the beta format. Okay. Especially technology products, many technology products allow people to try it out a little bit, kick it around. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. Tell me how I can make it better. And then I will then launch it. So the great thing about it in entrepreneurial marketing, different than marketing, is that you're getting feedback, you're getting input, you're getting information from your customer to help you have a better product. Secondly, you get to use resource maximization. So what does this mean? This means that you have limited resources. You don't really have, when you do traditional marketing, your budget's, I don't know, $300,000. Go out and spend it, social media, ads, however you want. When you're in entrepreneurial marketing, you don't know really what the budget's going to be. You don't know if you're going to have a lot of money with the budget. You don't know how much it's going to cost you because you don't know technically the end product and what it's going to be. It's evolving. So you have limited. So your creativity and your strategy is at a very heightened level. when it's almost like a startup. People love that type of, I actually enjoy working in that type of environment because you look at that. I might not be able to just throw money out on the table and sell it. I have to be creative of how I get it there. And people enjoy that very much. I'll give you a great example. Opening up in our area up here where I am is I don't know if any of you've heard of it, but it's a very new, innovative, popular coffee chain called 7 Brew. And again, you're dealing with Dunkin' Donuts, you're dealing with Starbucks, you're dealing with small little coffee chains, you're dealing with a lot of things like Krispy Kreme, all these things. So what 7 Brew is doing very uniquely, going to different areas, giving free coffee to the OR nurses at the local hospital, having a veterans only type of soft sell opening so that veterans can go there, going to the local car show to go. So they're using unique creative marketing ways to try to be able to get to the local clientele, not necessarily the drive-by people that are this weekend coming in for July 4th, but the local clientele, the nurses that speak to a lot of people at the hospital. And the hospital is a foundation to the community. Very important. So that's a great, great idea. And again, the reason I knew about it, which really was interesting, is I saw it posted on Facebook. So you look at how that social media free posting by the OR nurses at the local hospital, thanking 7 Brew for dropping off, 40 different coffees to them for free, got a free posting, and the mileage, it was terrific. So it's a great story in that way. And lastly, as I said, as I just talked about now, relationship centric, authentic engagement. When you sit down with doctors, when you sit down with your customers, when you ask to get online free feedback for trying out a product, that is true, authentic engagement. That's not something you pay for. That's not something that you got this focus group that you gave them $50 to sit down and tell me what you like or not like about this. This is authentic engagement. Now, the difference between the two, as I talked about, entrepreneurial, again, creating new brands, storytelling, capturing the customers on the initial presence of understanding the product, okay, dialogue, all the experimentation, all those great words that coincide with kind of the startup atmosphere can different than traditional marketing, which again, managing brands, focusing on retaining and servicing customers, using the standardized communication formats, how many Facebook ads, how much money am I going to spend on this advertisement? How much money am I going to spend on this TV commercial? Okay. This is the new age of trying to be able to bootstrap your way to an availability. So why are we even talking about? Why does this matter? This is what makes the marketing and innovation side so unique to the traditional marketing classes, because you need to have that entrepreneurial innovation to be able to deliver this special marketing approach. One is you're breaking the failure cycle. Okay. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you are building a product by feedback, by customer engagement, by trying out different types of tweaking and evolving a product, you have much more of a likelihood for that product to actually succeed. Okay, you're not building it from scratch on what you believe is good. You're building it with others who eventually may be the customers. Okay, so let me give you an example. All of you are taking an online course. Granted, you have the asynchronous ability to meet with me on Wednesdays and do it, but you're doing an online course. I am not sitting in Indiana. You are not all sitting in a classroom in Indiana. And the evolvement of online education came from the convenience, the technology, the consistent tweaking of how we were delivering education. Okay. So that's what I mean by being able to evolve the process of delivering education on a technology oriented, convenient format. So you're really trying to break that failure cycle than if you were to start up an online school in that way, just out of the aspect. Two, creativity over capital. Instead of just throwing money at promoting something, you're trying to look at how you can be resourceful, how you can be innovative, how you can be unique, and be able to deliver that emotional statement and the connection of the product in a unique, different way. Very important. Three, you're continually refining. As I talked about, you're consistently trying to see how we can do it better, how we can improve, how we can constantly look at meeting the target market's needs. And that target market may evolve too in that way. And then lastly is scalable growth, where you're able to kind of untap the market and keep on growing. So why stop at this product? Maybe we can do this product and that product or go on to the next level. So many different ways. Now, the role in the customer experience is vital. I cannot stress this enough. The innovative customer experience is vital. Because if you don't get the feedback, if you don't get the information that's needed to make the product better and enhance it, you can't do it. Okay, if your target market doesn't speak to you, if they don't tell you what needs to be done wrong or different or improvements, then you're not going to be able to innovate in a way of developing a product to meet the needs and solutions of the customer. So co-creation, as we say, is very important. Digital transformation, very important. The ability to use AI, the ability to use technology, the speed of transformation in a digital atmosphere is vital. Three, the emotional connection. What do I mean by this? I mean that for someone to take the time to work and give you feedback and give you information means that in some way or another, that person is connected to that product in a way to take a portion of their time and a portion of their lifestyle to help you better your product. So when someone takes the time to give you feedback, maybe it might be a customer service card, maybe it might be a Google review, maybe it might be a QR code to fill out a survey. That is a way that you somewhat are connected to the product, that you take the time to do it. And then lastly is the adaptive evolution. What do I mean by that? You're constantly, again, as I get into, changing, continuously improving on the product. So my real world example that I am going to share with you on the announcements page is a video of Crumbl Cookies, one of the companies that I truly love. I was introduced to it when I went down to Outer Banks with my daughters for a vacation. Never was familiar with it. I don't know how many of you just pop it in the chat if you had the pleasure of having Crumbl Cookies, or if you haven't, let me know that you haven't. Just in that way, I highly recommend you get a chance to taste it. Very unique, amazing approach that they took, using a digital branding, using personalization, and using a engagement aspect of social media for people to give them feedback on how they like the cookies, what cookies did they like, voting on cookies, and people actually doing YouTube videos telling them about how they feel about the cookie, which is amazing. And people, addiction, love that, love this stuff. So I'm going to share with you a video, take a look at it, of a profile of Crumbl Cookies, an amazing company. And I profile that as a real world example because they have used engagement as a tool to help them become popular. Because again, you don't see ads on Crumble cookies. It's basically a viral person to person type of discussion in that way. And again, selections are chosen by the customers. So really amazing work. Again, just to kind of go through some other examples to make you familiar, customer experience, how some companies do that. One is tailoring your customer experience to your desires. That's what Netflix does. Many of you who use Netflix, enjoy Netflix, recommendations. Amazon does that. Recommendations on what recommendation engines used on different apps has become an exceptional customer experience that people enjoy. Okay. Secondly, creating good interactions, customer touch points. Starbucks has done this very well, whether it be their app, whether it be their engagement when you go order, whether it be the drive-through. They have done very well at this. Also, Dunkin' Donuts has done very well at this in the aspect of having mobile app to in-store pickup. That type of connection has been really good in that way. Again, entrepreneurial marketing. And thirdly, is that emotional connection. And Apple has done a fantastic job of that. People that go into buying an Apple iPhone, majority of them have stayed with Apple all the way through. I know my first iPhone I think was like a 6. I'm now up to like a 14 plus max, I think, and 17 max, I think I am. Yeah, something like that. I mean, going through the journey of the phone evolvement of, again, them working with people wanting to tweak the phone each time they upgrade to add things that people would like, whether it's bigger cameras, whether it's, easier flashlight, whether it's easier apps. All these different things have become vital in the customer experience. So when you look at the strategic impact, again, you go from in the aspect of entrepreneurial marketing, you go from an unknown state, basically a creation state, finding a problem, looking how to solve it on an entrepreneurial approach, then going into the growth phase, which you are evolving, tweaking the customer experience by getting the engagement to then fulfill yourself as a market leader. Okay, that's the tone and the approach that you take in that way. Lastly, again, embracing this, it's a key of innovation, combining the creativity and customer understanding, which then adopts the approach to be the competitor's edge. Okay, so it's not, and this is a great statement that's put out here in the material. It does not just sell products like marketing does. It creates experiences that transform the customers into advocates. Very, very strong, important statement of the difference between the two. Okay. All right. So a couple things I want to kind of finish up with is one, I was going to show you, which would have made this last longer, the Crumble video, but I'm going to post the video because, again, I don't want to, as we get through the electricity or some click or glitch, brownout or something like that, that I lose you and I don't get the video finished and up there. So I'm going to post it up there, which would have added some time to our class here. Secondly, again, let me just go through the list because I didn't get to add it as a slide. So we have the discussion board, again, posting in by Thursday, 2 follow-up discussions. And again, use the APA format sourcing when you're going to take material out from your business. Very important. Also then, we're looking at the aspect of your assignment when you get into project paper, looking at entrepreneurial marketing, and again, the different phases vitally in that way. The discovery and awareness phase, how you come up with that problem and how you come up with that solution of that product or service to solve it, what type of research you're going to utilize as you go through finding out the ways of tweaking and improvement, the ways you're going to make the purchasing or acquisition of the product of ease and make it so that it solves the customer's concerns, and then the delivery of the product and the after sales support if needed in that way. And then how are you going to create the influence, meaning reviews, sharing, promotion, coming up with things to continually have that engagement. Okay, very important, because this is the new wave that the customer relationship marketing has taken in that tone, in that way. Okay, questions? Anybody have questions? Just hit me with a no so I don't cut anybody off in that way. I appreciate you taking the time and listening again. And again, with the Tech Live, just pop in there that you attended. Just want to make sure. And I appreciate all your help in that way. All right, terrific. So I look forward, again, we're in a next to last week here. So if you have any outstanding assignments, please make sure that you follow up, get those done. Lastly, next week will be our last live session. I'm going to specifically go over some of the roundup stuff, and I'm going to touch on a little bit of contacting, keeping in touch with me after. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I forgot to say that about the paper. The actual paper for the project paper is due on the why did that have that on there? Yeah, that is strange that it has that on there. The 6th, because it ends on the 12th. So, yeah, I apologize for that. I don't know why. I'm glad you brought that up. So, well, the paper is for next week. I apologize that it has that on there, the August 23rd. That must be that's a misprint on that. So I will make sure I tweak it. Let's make sure that we get, because again, next week we have the project paper on a design process. So that is the only thing this week is the Tech Live, the discussion, and the project paper. So that will also be, so basically it will be due, it should be due on the 5th that it normally is. So, yeah, so that's a misprint. I will make sure that is taken care of. So that is incorrect, Kelsey. Thanks so much for bringing that up. I did not catch that. So yeah, let's do that on the 5th. And if you have any questions, and if you need a little extra time, since it's Wednesday that we're going over it, don't worry about it. Just make sure it gets in by the 12th, which is this last day of the class. Okay, so I'll give you some little extra room there if you guys need it. I'm not penalizing anybody for the date of the paper because I want to make sure it's good comprehensive work. Okay, so I will make sure that's changed in that way, or I will reiterate to everybody too. All right. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great July 4th. And stay cool because it's very hot out there. Hydrate, as was said earlier. Have a great day, everybody.